as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
The lovely Linda Wooden is back to chat to us about age and the concern of us getting old. Well, actually, thanks to Age Concern Marbella, San Pedro, and all the other age concerns along the Costa del Sol, and all the work that is going in by the various communities to make sure that we are protected in our old age, we really don't have to have as much worry as we used to. But Linda, welcome back to Marbella now.
Thank you very much.
There's a lot to be done still to get things moving, and for people more than anything else to realize that help is available.
Oh, absolutely. And funnily enough, I was moving house a week or so ago, and this lady came up and chatted to me and said, welcome to the area. And she said, what do you do? So I told her we were age concerned, etc. And she said, oh, well, I have this husband that's got dementia. He's not very well at all, and I'm 78, and it's really difficult for me. And I didn't know there was such a thing as help for me. So I said, well, I will come and see you. We'll do an assessment, see where you need assistance. And as Age Concern, Marbella and San Pedro, you would be part of our family. And we can get a volunteer to visit you, to assist you. And she was delighted. And I owe her a visit, so I will be there shortly.
That is the thing, you see. It's like with all these wonderful incentives and projects that we're working on, if we don't share the information, then it's like it makes life so difficult when it doesn't need to be. As a community, this community that we're trying to cement, yes,
yeah.
It really is for that reason. What's the point of giving free drinks to the designated driver if they don't know about it? Having help for Age Concern. People also, she's asking for her husband, but I think what you're also finding is people are very loath to ask help for themselves. How do you think we're going to get round that one, Linda?
Well, I think the best way for us to is actually go on various types of media just to let people know we exist. And with that, their families will obviously then contact us to say, well, my mother-in-law or my best friend or my neighbor or whatever needs help. Could you probably or possibly come and do an assessment? And then once we've done that assessment, we see what volunteers are able to cover whatever results we have. I mean, we are working together with Aged Care, Angels, various different other associations as well, that are all trying to assist the fast-growing elderly community that we have on the Costa del Sol.
This is very much the case, and a lot of people find themselves on their own, either through divorce, separation, bereavement, without families. And the Spanish healthcare system, although it is excellent, does largely depend on the family support to make everything run smoothly. And those of us who maybe not have families here can find themselves a little bit in a pickle. So getting this information out is fundamental. What type of things can Age Concern help with? What kind of issues do you deal with?
Well, the most important one, I think, is actually people that are lonely. And when people are alone and lonely, it's very, very sad because they don't know where to turn, what to do, and many of them don't speak Spanish. You know, they've arrived here in their 60s, having fun, speak the language of their nation, and don't bother to learn Spanish, and suddenly they're old and they can't communicate. So where do they turn to? They now are going to the hospitals and begging for help there, and of course the hospitals are putting them straight into hospital rather than getting in touch with people like us. But if they get hold of their local consulate, they will then be put in touch with us, which I think is actually probably the easiest way for many people. Or you look up Age Concern Marbella, Age Concern San Pedro, or the various other areas of the coast, and what will pop up is the consulate website, and also, you know, the actual website of that particular office.
And it's very good actually, because the British Embassy have done supportinspain.info, www.supportinspain.info, and from there you have all the help services around the Costas where you can go to.
For every aspect of life.
Every aspect.
Yeah.
So we've got loneliness, but
Yeah.
then people who can't go out shopping.
Yes, people who don't drive, we will organise for them to either get a taxi to wherever they need to go. There is usually a small fee for that, unless the volunteer wishes to do it for nothing. But usually there's a small fee if you need to be taken to hospital, but you don't have really a major problem. We also have languages, so that if somebody goes to the hospital or a doctor and doesn't speak Spanish, then we will actually send a translator there as well. So there's all those sort of aspects of it. But then when somebody becomes infirm, we also have a very good connection with Orpea, which is the old age home residence, let's call it that, that's in Puerto Banús. It does cost money, but if you come through age concern, there is an automatic discount, which is fantastic. And they are really pressing ahead now to try and accommodate as many people as they possibly can. It's just been taken over, actually. It used to be Sanurez. So that's fantastic as well.
But again, it's the community
Yes, it's
coming together, making those connections,
Yes.
so it all flows smoothly, as opposed to one person here, one person there.
Yeah.
It's getting it that there's a flow. We all know what's going on, so we can all share the information to create the support system.
And the other thing as well is that we actually have somebody who used to be on our committee who's now actually sadly become part of the age concern, and he doesn't want to stay in any of the old age homes or anything. He wants to stay with his own belongings around him in his own home. So we are now visiting him. He's sadly got Alzheimer's now, and I'm in touch with the family in the UK. They're coming out here to do an assessment with us to see what is the best route for this particular gentleman.
So one of the
You
people
know.
who started this is now actually
On the other
benefiting
side,
from
yes.
the service, which is really, I suppose, how this comes. We get to an age when we start realising that maybe we are going to be
cross the
needing,
barrier.
yes, we're going to be
Yeah.
needing help one day. And so I have to say that for myself, I would love to think that there is a well-established system to make sure that we don't find ourselves in the position that some of the people are unfortunately in at the moment.
Yes, exactly. And we have a 99-year-old coming up on the 20th of September.
Lovely
And
bit.
so we are giving him a birthday party. It is an excuse to actually do a little bit of fundraising as well at Lynx Bar in Aloha.
Oh, that's and it's not as difficult to park there as one may think. Sometimes I get scared to go there, like, where am I going to park? But it's
On the hill,
yes,
on the
on
hill.
hills, on the-
But, you know, it'll be a great day. And obviously we'd love as many people as possible to come to it.
So these events
So-
are open. These are the moments that you use to get funds in.
Yes,
and-
to do a little bit of fundraising, tell people more about age concern. The chairman will usually speak. And we hope that you're going to come.
I look forward to it.
And obviously then we'll do a Christmas event. We haven't got a date set yet, or a venue for that matter. And you know, there's so many other things that we're looking to doing, and we're doing a major ball next year where we're going to hopefully get about 200 people to come and participate, and we'll do all sorts of things at that. But thanks to you, Nicole, we've met so many fantastic people who are all willing to come and assist and so on and so forth, and asked if they can become volunteers. And
What do you need?
so on.
What does the association need as such? How can we support?
Well, we are raising money, and we are looking to possibly invest in a vehicle of some sort that we can actually pick up people, take them to such things as the Art Society if they're doing lectures, or maybe we can do day trips out for the people that feel like, you know, going out and seeing something, because we're not all handicapped the moment we get old. You know, people do still want to have a little bit of a life. And this little bus thing, a 12-seater or something like that, would be brilliant. And of course we need a good bus driver.
Of course, everything.
Yes.
As you're saying, I'm thinking, okay, you've got the cost of the bus, but then you've got the cost of the person to drive the bus, the insurance of the bus. Everything takes funding. So obviously,
Or a loan of a bus when we need to do these events.
Okay,
You
so
know, that's the
making
other
lists,
that's the
making
other
lists.
aspect, yeah.
And hopefully, if you're listening and you can help in any of these things, please do. Volunteers, do you need volunteers as well?
We've got fabulous volunteers. We need patience, actually. And what we have got now is the option, probably, of an office, which will open in San Pedro, which is great. And we're looking to try and find another venue where we can have events like coffee mornings. We do coffee mornings currently, but it's a bit sort of here and there at the moment where we do them. And they are growing, and we'd love everyone to come and do that first Wednesday of every month. And at the moment we're doing the paddle tennis club in San Pedro. That will move to somewhere in the centre of town. I haven't got the address yet, but that's all very exciting. And various other events. We're looking to start doing things like bridge, you know, so people can communicate with each other, because they're not necessarily handicapped, but they don't know how to meet other people of their age group.
Well, it's not really, let's face it,
Yeah.
it isn't easy to meet other people.
Yeah.
You need to get involved in something, and obviously the older you get, and if you're not going out, you don't have someone to go out with, it can make things a little bit more scary than necessary. Having associations like Age Concern is so commendable, very grateful, and as we're saying, it looks like we've got enough volunteers now, but if you need help, there is no shame in needing help.
Assistance of any sort, even if it's just once, you know, and we'd love you all to become a friend and or a member of Age Concern as well, you know, because that's the only way that we raise a little bit of money in order to do and achieve the things that we really want to do.
Well, it's nice to know that there are associations like Age Concern. Thank you so much for caring
Pleasure,
and being so
darling.
integrala and doing so much. It's funny because talking with James before, I found out you've only been here for 7 years, although your family is from Malaga. So you've been coming yourself for many years to
About
Spain.
49 years.
A few.
Yes, a good few years, yes.
And you're one of the few that actually do speak some Spanish as well.
Yes, badly, but I do. I can get by, let's put it that way. But I learnt it completely in the streets, you know.
But it's
Sounds
making
terrible.
that effort to do the
little words,
The little words.
One word a day, and eventually you habla perfecto en español.
But you do see the difference, don't you, when you actually make the effort to say something, how grateful people are for that little bit of effort
Well,
for
the
speaking
Spanish
their language.
people are very, very happy when you try and learn their language, because after all, we are living in Spain, so we should know Spanish.
That's
you
the
know.
least we can do.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Linda, thank you so much. I hope it's not so long till I see you the next time.
I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.
And how exciting, we're going to a birthday of a gentleman turning 99.
John.
John,
Yes.
what date is it?
20th.
The 20th of September. In Links, please get your tickets now. We look forward to
Yes.
seeing you there. Well done, you.
Bye, thank you.
Free taxi 4 times a month and 25% discount on your car insurance if you're the Zero Hero.
Yeah, I'm here in Marbella, but it says here I'm in La Canada.
If you haven't mastered the lingo, don't worry. Linear Director has a free GPS geolocator service that will come and find you.
Article 50 has been triggered, and as it stands at the moment, the UK will be leaving the European Economic Community at the beginning of next year. Now, obviously, this is very worrying for a lot of English that are living abroad and are very unsure of how this is going to affect us. However, as it stands at the moment, if you are legally covered in the sense of you are officially registered in your town padron, and if you have your residency, there shouldn't be too much problems. So we talked about that last week. But one thing I think is important to say is that the foreigners very much like to have a say in what's going on. The British consul Charmaine Abwin also told us a couple of weeks ago that as it stands at the moment, the Brits will still have the right to vote in the upcoming local elections in Spain in May 2019, as long as we are registered on the town padron and have also ticked the box or signed the form to say that we would also like to vote. Now, the important thing to take into consideration is you must have this paperwork done by the end of this year. So if you would like to have a vote, a say of what goes on in your city, you can do that even if you're foreign. If you're part of the economic European community, you do have a right to have an opinion on what goes on locally. So please do get yourself signed on your local town padron, the local census, and also get your form to fill in for your right to vote. And please note that if you sign on the town padron, this does not change your legal status. However you are living in Spain at that time, whatever declarations or payments you're making or taxes that you're paying or not, nothing will change. That status stays exactly the same. Signing on the town padron is literally just for the town to know how many people are living here, so they can get funds from central government in Madrid to make sure that there are enough people to clean the streets, to police the streets, to look after you if you're poorly in the hospitals. So it's something that you do need to do for your own benefit, and there are really no negatives. As I say, your legal status as it stands at the moment will not change. Whatever you're doing, you carry on doing, but you will be covered in Brexit, and you will be covered to make sure that you can vote as long as you signed on the padron and you've asked to fill in the form also to vote, which must be done by the end of this year for you to have your say.
Hey, hey.
Tomorrow is Wednesday, and that means we will be back with me, Marbella Radio, on 107.6 FM on RTV Marbella. Please join us at 5:30 in the afternoon, but you can also listen to recordings of our radio show with watching again the programmes of Marbella Now from our website, rtvmarbellanow.com. That's it for this evening. Take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Hasta luego.